Good morning, student. Yesterday, we have seen the basic properties of congruences. Now, using these properties, now we shall solve some problems on congruences. First problem, prove each of the following assertion. If A is congruent to B mod n and m divides n, then A is congruent to B mod m. Instead of n, there is a n. Remaining thing is same. Now we shall prove this. It is given that A is congruent to B mod n and m divides n. By the definition of congruence, A is congruent to B mod n implies that n divides A minus B. But by the definition of divisibility, n divides A minus B implies that A minus B is equals to Kn for some integer k. Also, it is given that m divides n, and by the divisibility, this implies that n is equals to mx for some integer x. Now, putting the value of n in the equation a minus b is equals to kn, we get a minus b is equals to k into mx, and then it can be written as m into kx, and which implies that m divides a minus b. M divides a minus b implies, by the definition of divisibility, a is congruent to b mod m. This is the solution of first problem. Now b is, if a is congruent to b mod n and c is greater than 0, then ca is congruent to cb mod cn. That means if c is greater than 0, we can multiply throughout by c. It is given that a is congruent to b mod n. This implies n divides a minus b. By the definition of divisibility, this implies a minus b is equals to kn for some integer k. Multiplying by c, we get c into a minus b is equals to c into kn. Or it can be written as ca minus cb is equal to cn into k, and which implies cn divide ca minus cb. And by the definition of congruence, this means ca is congruent to cb mod cn. Now third c is, if a is congruent to b mod n and the integers a, b, n all divisible by d greater than 0, then a by d is congruent to b by d mod n by d. That means when d is greater than 0, we can divide throughout by d, which is proof is similar to the previous. A is congruent to b mod n implies n divides a minus b. The integers a, b and n are all divisible by n. Therefore, a divides b, therefore a divided by b divided by d, and n divided by d are all integers. And therefore, a minus b is equals to nk for some integer k. Means, as here we have n divides a minus b, from this n divides a minus b, we have a minus b is equal to nk for some integer k. Then dividing both sides by d greater than 0, we get a divided by d minus b divided by d is equals to n divided by d into k, and which implies a divided by d is congruent to b divided by d mod n divided by d. Second example, if A is congruent to B mod n, now I forget to write n there, it is A is congruent to B mod n, then prove that greatest common divisor of an is equal to greatest common divisor of bn. Now consider A is congruent to B mod n, then this implies n divides A minus B. This implies A minus B is equals to nk, or from this we have A is equals to B plus nk. We shall consider this as equation 1, and from this we get value of B as A minus nk. Means we obtain the values of A and B from the equation A minus B is equals to nk. Assume that GCD of AN is equal to D1 and GCD of BN is equals to D2. Now as D1 is a GCD of AN, D1 divides A and D1 divides N. This implies D1 divides A minus NK by using the property of divisibility. But A minus NK is equals to B using equation 2. A minus NK is equals to B. Put the value of B as, therefore this implies D1 divides B. Okay. Thus D1 divides B and D1 divides N implies that D1 is a common divisor of B and N. But D2 is the greatest common divisor of B and N, therefore D1 divides D2. Also, D2 is greatest common divisor of B1 as in previous case, which implies D2 divides B and D2 divides N, which implies D2 divides B plus Nk for some integer k. Put the value of B plus Nk by equation 1, it is A, and therefore we get D2 divides A. Thus D2 divides A and D2 divides N implies that D2 is a common divisor of A and N. But D1 is greatest common divisor of A and N, hence D2 divides D1. Now observe the expressions 3 and 4. In third we have D1 divides D2, and in fourth we have D2 divides D1. This implies that D1 is equals to D2, but D1 is greatest common divisor of AN and D2 is greatest common divisor of BN. Putting these values, finally we get greatest common divisor of AN is equals to greatest common divisor of BN. Now next problem. Show that 41 divides 2 raised to 20 minus 1. Now if we want to evaluate 2 raised to 20, it is difficult. We cannot evaluate in less time and then subtract minus 1 and show that which is divisible by 41 or not. But we shall prove this easily by using the properties of congruences. Here we have to prove that 41 divides 2 raised to 20 minus 1. We have to obtain 2 raised to 20. And it can be obtained as 2 raised to 5 raised to 4. 2 raised to 5 raised to 4 is 2 raised to 20. 2 raised to 5 means 32. And we observe that 32 is congruent to minus 9 mod 41, because this means 41 divides 32 minus of minus 9. Minus of minus 9 means 32 plus 9. 32 plus 9 is 41, and we know that 41 divides 41. Therefore, we have 32 is congruent to minus 9 mod 41. But 32 is written as 2 raised to 5, and therefore we have 2 raised to 5 is congruent to minus 9 mod 41. In properties, that is 6 properties, if A is congruent to B mod n, then A raised to k is congruent to B raised to k mod n. Using this property, here we can take k is equals to 4 for this congruence. That is 2 raised to 5 is congruent to minus 9 mod 41, and it can be written as 2 raised to 5 raised to 4 is congruent to minus 9 raised to 4 mod 41, and 2 raised to 5 raised to 4 can be written as 2 raised to 20 minus 9 raised to 4. It can be written as minus 9 square into minus 9 square, that is 81 into 81 mod 41. But we know that 81 is congruent to minus 1 mod 41. 1 mod 41, because minus 1 on left side, that means a minus b, it will become 81 minus of minus 1, that means 81 plus 1, that is 82. And we know that 41 divides 82, that means 82 is divisible by 41, and hence we have the congruence 81 is congruent to minus 1 mod 41. Again, using the property that a is congruent to b mod n implies a raised to k is congruent to b raised to k mod n, taking k is equal to 2. This implies that 81 square is congruent to minus 1 square mod 41. 81 square can be written as 81 into 81 minus 1 square is plus 1. That means 81 into 81 is congruent to 1 mod 41. Now we know the property that A is congruent to B mod n and C is congruent. Listen carefully. The property is A is congruent to B mod n and B is congruent to C mod n. Then A is congruent to C mod n. Using this property for the congruences 1 and 2, we get 2 raised to 20 is congruent to 1 mod 41. 2 raised to 20 congruent to 1 mod 41 implies by the definition of congruence that 41 divides 2 raised to 20 minus 1, and hence the required result is 41 divides 2 raised to 20 minus 1. Okay, now we shall see next problem. Problem number 4. Find the remainder obtained upon dividing the sum 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial plus 99 factorial plus 100 factorial by 12. Means here we have to divide this sum by 12 and we have to divide the sum by 12 and obtain the remainder. Now we know that 24 is congruent to 0 mod 12 because 24 minus 0 is 24, and we know that 12 divides 24. But 24 can be written as 4 factorial, and we get the congruence 4 factorial is congruent to 0 mod 12. Now we know the property of the congruence that A is congruent to A mod n. Now taking n is equal to 12 and A is equals to 5. At first we get 5 is congruent to 5 mod 12, then 6 is congruent to 6 mod 12, and continuing like this for any integer k, we have k is congruent to k mod 12. Now taking multiplication of all these congruence, that means 4 factorial into 5 into 6 dash up to k is congruent to this 0 into 5 into 6 dash up to k mod 12, means taking multiplication of this congruence, because we know the property if A is congruent to B mod n and C is congruent to D mod n, then AC is congruent to BC mod n. Product of left side is congruent to product of right sides mod n. This property is true for n congruences also, and therefore using it for these k congruences, we get 4 factorial into 5 into 6 dash up to k is congruent to 0 into 5 into 6 dash up to k mod 12. But on the right part of the congruence there is multiply by 0, therefore this will become 0, and hence this congruence Here 4 factorial into 5 into 6 into k can be written as k factorial is congruent to 0 mod 12. Now this congruence is true for all k is greater than or equal to 4. Now in this way we get this congruence, means taking sum of the congruence here. 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial plus 4 factorial plus so on 100 factorial, because we know that 1 factorial is congruent to 1 factorial, 2 factorial is congruent to 2 factorial, 3 factorial is congruent to 3 factorials, and after that 4 factorial is congruent to 0 factorial mod 12. 5 factorial is congruent to 0 factorial mod 12, because just we have proved the property that for k is greater than or equal to 4, means starting from 4, k factorial is congruent to mod 12. That means 4 factorial is congruent to 0 mod 12, 5 factorial is congruent to 0 mod 12, and continuing like this so on. And therefore, here after 3, this will be 0 plus 0 mod 12. Now right hand side is same, but here this here left hand side, that is 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial plus 4 factorial plus on 100 factorial is congruent to 9, because this 3 factorial is 6 plus 2 factorial is 2 plus 1, 3 plus 2 plus 3 factorial is 6 plus 2 plus 1, it is 9 mod 12. And by the definition of congruence, this implies that 12 divides 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus on 100 factorial minus 9. And using definition of divisibility, we get 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial plus 4 factorial plus on 100 factorial minus 9 is equal to 12k for some integer k. Then transfer this minus 9 on right side. It will become 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial plus 4 factorial plus on 100 factorial is equals to 12k plus 9. Okay. Apply the division algorithm here. What is division algorithm? B is equals to AQ plus R. Means when we divide B by A, quotient is Q and remainder is R. Here 12k plus 9, k is a quotient and 9 is a remainder. Hence by division algorithm, the required remainder is 9. This completes the solution of problem. Now last problem, find the remainder when 2 raised to 50 is divided by 7. Means we have to find the value of 2 raised to 50, then divide by 7, and what is the remainder. But instead of finding the value of 2 raised to 50, it will take more time. We shall apply the theory of congruences, that means properties of congruences. Now solution, 50 can be written as 3 into 16 plus 2, and therefore 2 raised to 50 can be written as 2 raised to 3 raised to 16 plus 2, but it can be written as into 2 square. And we have, now keep this value as it is, 2 raised to 50 is equals to 2 cube raised to 16 into 2 square. But this 2 cube is congruent to 1 mod 7, because 2 cube is 8 and minus 1, that is 7. We know that 7 divides 7. Hence we have the congruence 2 cube is congruent to 1 mod 7. Now again use the property, 6th property. If A is congruent to B mod n, then A raised to k is congruent to B raised to k mod n. Now here taking k is equals to 16, we get 2 cube raised to 16 is congruent to 1 raised to 16 mod 7. Now 2 cube into raised to 16 means it will become 2 raised to 48. That means 2 raised to 48 is congruent to 1 mod 7. Now we know the property of the congruence that if A is congruent to B mod n, then AC is congruent to BC mod n. Here taking C as a 2 square, we get 2 raised to 48 into 2 square is congruent to 1 into 2 square is a 2 square mod 7. And 2 raised to 48 into 2 square can be written as 2 raised to 50 is congruent to 4 mod 7 because 2 square is a 4. Now apply the definition of congruence here. 2 raised to 50 is congruent to 4 mod 7 can be written as 7 divides 2 raised to 50 minus 4. And then by definition of divisibility, it can be written as 2 raised to 50 minus 4 is equal to 7k, or you can take it as a q also for some integer q. That means 2 raised to 50, transfer this minus 4 on right side, it will become 2 raised to 50 is equals to 7q plus r. Now apply the division algorithm. Here 2 raised to 50 is equal to 7q plus r, that means r is a remainder, r is 4 here, means hence by division algorithm, when we divide 2 raised to 50 by 7, the remainder is 4. Now in this way we shall apply the properties of congruence to solve the different types of problems easily. Okay, with these 5 problems we shall stop here. Thank you.